Okay, other stories. We should just touch on Yuki Tsunoda after we did talk to Dr. Martin again, and he said that post-Mexico, they're going to make a decision about that. Has he done enough? I think it's 16 points in the last 3 races, where he's got 12 in the 16 before that. As Jensen was saying, he's still a long way down the road from Max, and it's just 7th. It's not like he's finishing in 2nd or 3rd.
It's better.
But what has he done enough, or is it too late?
Look, it's better. I think it's a bit too little, too late. But I think the caveat is that he isn't still quite on parity with Max. And Ted was making those points in practice in terms of the upgrades that have gone on the car. But they're going to make a decision after Mexico. I kind of thought the decision had already been made, and that was the impression that I was getting.
Yeah, he's not actually any closer, is he? He's more competitive and he's scoring points because the car's better. To your point, the Red Bull's gotten better. He was still, what was he yesterday? 52 seconds behind Max in a 50, how many laps was the race? 56 laps, yeah. So that's still back to the usual sort of 8, 9, 10th gap that we've seen all along.
What's the Racing Bulls lineup for next year?
Arvid Lindblad, Liam Lawson.
Who's driving in Mexico, isn't he? In FP1, I believe.
Yes, he is.
Lindblad. So,
which would be nice for you, 2 Horsley boys.
He's not, and it's not Horsley. Same school, went to the same school. Yeah, he was a long time after me, Alan is. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I mean, it may well be that. I think they... listen, I hope that they give Liam another go. He's been on a turbulent journey this year, but actually... he's sort of come back a bit. He's been closer to Isaac in the last 7, 8 weekends, hasn't he? So I hope they give him another full season. And I do think, my personal view, I think Lindblad, Arvid is very, very good. I've got to know him a little bit over the last few years. He's extremely talented. But I think they shouldn't make the same mistake of just rushing these guys through too early. I would actually keep him in F2, but then do what Mercedes did with Antonelli and put together a massive TPC test program for him. Even though the cars will be a completely different generation, doesn't matter. Just give him loads and loads of mileage. Prepare him properly for 2027. Because, just to finish up, let's remember next year, Red Bull are going to be an engine manufacturer for the first time.
Yeah.
And I think having 4 drivers with Formula One experience, so I would actually keep Yuki. I actually think keep Yuki and Liam at Racing Bulls, Isaac and Max have 4 experienced drivers, because it's a really important year. It's a massive year for Red Bull Technologies as a company to become an engine company. I think having 4 experienced drivers would be really helpful, and then you could put Lindblad in for 27.
Which makes perfect sense. But this is the Red Bull Junior Driver Development Program we're talking about here. And patience, consistency, we don't always see that.
Yeah. Let's wrap it up. Ollie Behrman, as we were saying, one of those weekends again, it was his best ever qualifying performance. He does show real flashes of brilliance, doesn't he, on Saturdays? If he can just level things out, become more... I think he is becoming more consistent.
Yeah.
But if he can... For next year, that's got to be plan A, hasn't it? Just to iron out the inconsistencies and do it at most racetracks.
Absolutely, but he should have finished 7th.
Yeah.
He should have finished 7th. And that move that Yuki put on him, he moved under braking. I didn't think it was fair at the time. Didn't get noted. Ollie certainly didn't think it was fair. Had Yuki not done that, I thought he would definitely have got past him. It would have been 7th, but by going on the dirt, he lost 8th as well to Nico Hülkenberg. And by the way, great to see Nico Hülkenberg back in the points again.
Yeah, cracking weekend.
Yeah, really super weekend.
You gave me a really funny look in the commentary box on Friday in practice when I said, watch Nico Hülkenberg for a good weekend. You were like, really? What?
How did you know, Crofty?
Well, eventually one of my silly predictions has got to come true, right?
Oh, you make so many.
I also said Carlos Sainz was going to win because he finished 3rd 2 years ago, 2nd last year, so stands to right he was going to win.
It was not bad.
Yeah.
You got that one on. Williams weekend?
Well, great for Carlos in the sprint, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That cheer he got from the crowd was amazing.
It was. I mean,
It was so nice.
Huge Latin American following, isn't there, here in Austin?
Yeah, but I think it's more than that, Simon. I think people like the Williams recovery story. I think the fans are really enjoying seeing, a team super successful in the past, having a tough time, rebuilding. And Carlos is popular. He actually got, I think, a lot of people on side for the fact that he got.
In numbers, can Verstappen win the title based on current form? Max Verstappen has rapidly closed in on Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris in the title fight. But what does the data say about the Red Bull Drivers' Championship prospects? With 5 rounds remaining in the 2025 season, the battle for the Drivers' Championship has been rapidly heating up. Much focus has surrounded the increased threat posed by Max Verstappen, with the Dutchman's recent strong run of form seeing him close the gap to leader Oscar Piastri down to just 40 points, while Piastri's McLaren teammate Lando Norris is only 14 points adrift in second. 4-time world champion Verstappen admitted after his latest win in Austin that the chance is there for him to claim a 5th consecutive title, adding, "We just need to try to deliver these weekends to the end of the year, so yeah, we'll at least try whatever we can." But would another streak of similar results for Verstappen until the end of the season, as well as a repeat in recent form for Piastri and Norris, be enough to secure him the title? And what does Piastri need to do to defend his lead and seal a maiden championship? Well, we've been delving into the data to find out who wins the title if Verstappen is first and Piastri second for the rest of the season. Verstappen has triumphed in 3 of the last 4 Grands Prix, a pattern that he will be hoping to extend into the final 5 rounds of the campaign. Looking at his chances based on past success, the Dutchman has form at each of the upcoming tracks, having scored 5 wins in Mexico City, 3 in Sao Paulo, 1 in Las Vegas, 2 in Qatar and 4 in Abu Dhabi. That makes for a total of 15 victories across these tracks. Throw in a win at the 2023 Sao Paulo Sprint and the statistics make for even more impressive reading, and perhaps ominous for his rivals. Let's say that Verstappen takes to the top step at every remaining race, along with the 2 remaining sprints. But that championship leader Piastri finishes each event in second, with Norris in third. In this scenario, Piastri would clinch the title on a total of 450 points, by a margin of just 3 points from Verstappen, while Norris would have a deficit of 31 points. In terms of his own record at the next 5 circuits, Piastri's only 2 sprint victories were achieved in Qatar, while his best finish in Mexico has been a P8.AS for Norris. The Briton took victory in last year's Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, plus the Sao Paulo Sprint in 2024. His own best result at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez was a 2nd place, also achieved last season. Who wins the title based on each driver's points scored since the summer break? Given that the championship fight arguably took its greatest turn after F1 returned from its summer break in August, with the 5 rounds since seeing Verstappen embark on his promising run. We also looked at the data based on each of the title protagonists' average scores across these races. Across these 5 weekends in Zandvoort, Monza, Baku, Singapore and Austin, Piastri took victory in the Dutch Grand Prix before claiming P2 at the Italian race 1 week later. He has since finished off the podium at each of the 3 events since, giving him an average score of 12.4.